All right, today we are going to talk about adding numbers, all right? So here's what we're going to do. One of the first operations your book mentions that you probably learned when you were very, very small is adding. And of the 4 basic operations in math, addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, adding is the simplest, all right? There's no doubt about that. I think all of us, sometimes we used our fingers or whatever it was that we did. But, you know, the old adage in math, 2 plus 2 is 4, all right? In base 10 is 4. Probably in another base it might be different, but we get that, we understand that. And for the most part, we're good. Sometimes when we get into decimals or fractions and things like that, well then we might struggle some, but addition shouldn't scare us. And so just to remember, addend plus addend equals sum. So 2 plus 2 equals 4 means that both the 2's are addends. Now if I have 3 addends, like 2 plus 2 plus 2, and then the answer, or the sum, is going to be 6. So just remember that, all right? Now, following your book and the examples in your book, what I had you do is I had you put this down, and we're going to talk about both of them, all right? So let's just kind of summarize it. If I give you any 2 numbers, okay, any 2 numbers, we're going to talk about adding positive and negative numbers today, they only fall in one of 2 categories. Either the 2 numbers I give you are going to be the same, all right? 4 plus 6. Are both positive, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, they are, okay? The signs are either going to be the same. Ooh, look at that. Negative 3 plus a negative 2. Same signs, right? Both negative, and here, both positive. Anytime the sign is always the same, you always add, and then you keep the same sign. So if I add 2 plus 2, let's see, 2 plus 2, same sign or different sign?
Same.
Same sign, they're both positive numbers, a positive 2 and a positive 2. What do? I add the numbers and I keep the sign. If they're both positive, they stay positive. If they both are negative, they stay what?
Negative.
Negative, okay? So the reality is, this negative 3 and negative 2, guess what? I still add the numbers no matter what they are. They're a negative 5. Keep the same, okay? If I have not the same numbers, the only other possibility would be that I have different signs. Here we have the same signs. Here we have different. This is a negative. This is a positive. All right, in this problem, this is a negative, this is a positive. When my numbers are different signs, what am I going to do? I'm going to subtract the numbers. So once I conclude that this is a negative and this is a positive, and I know I have to subtract, then I don't need to let the signs confuse me. All I have to do is look at a 4 and an 8 and go 8 minus 4. Don't let the order confuse you. Don't let how they are confuse you. It doesn't matter. It's a 4 and an 8, and because they're different, you have to subtract. The only thing you've got to do, though, when they're different, is you have to keep the sign of the larger number. Well, I have a 4 and I have an 8. Remember, I'm only looking at the number, not the sign in front of it for this number 2 here. 4, would I rather have $4 or would I rather have $8? I'd rather have $8. So when I look at the sign of the larger, what sign is in front of it? Positive. So 8 minus 4 is 4, and it's positive 4 because I kept the sign of the larger. All right? Now that I said all that, let's just apply it, okay? It's super simple, all right? Same sign, add, keep the sign. Different sign, subtract, keep the sign of the larger. You have to get that ingrained in your head, okay? And time and time and time again, probably 20 times today in class, you're going to get that on every one. You're going to look at the problem, and you have to go, oh, I flip my page, look at my little sticky note, what my instructions are. Oh, that same sign I had, keep the sign, even though they're both negative. Oh, that's a different sign. I got to subtract the numbers. Because it's not just going to be whole rational numbers, it's going to be fractions, it's going to be decimals, all that stuff. You ready? Here we go. Problem number 1. Same or different?
Same.
Answer?
5.
Fair enough. Same, keeps that way, all right? Same or different?
Different.
Different, all right? These are same. So I still, on the left-hand side, do what to the numbers? I add them. I take the 1 and the 3, it becomes,
4.
but I keep the sign.
-4.
Good. Don't write 4. Because 4 is wrong. Okay, don't do that. Please don't, all right? -4. You got to keep the sign. And sometimes they're both negative, okay? Over here, 3 plus a -2. Same or different?
Different.
Different. All right, it's okay to be different. All right? We subtract the numbers. So look at just the numbers. 3 and 2, that's all you look at. What's the difference?
1.
1. Which number is larger?
3.
3. Positive 1 is our answer. Okay? Same or different?
Different.
Different. 7 and 5, difference is?
2.
But this time it's a
-2.
-2. Don't write +2. Okay? How you doing so far? Good? All right? Right here. Okay? Oh, that's the same as that. All right? Okay. That's the right answer. -4. All right? Good. 8 and a -3. Different answer is? +5. What's the answer?
+6. -6.
Alright, leave it start with me, alright? Get my blood boiling. -6. Different, subtract 10 minus 4, sign of the larger number. Okay? Now I put this up here just to show you. We won't do it here, it's in your book. Okay? But watch. Just so you don't have to be intimidated, alright? Same or different? It's different. So what does that mean for this? We do what? We subtract these numbers, don't we? So I would write this as 112.6 minus 39.27. I'd fill my 0 in, okay? Now, because they're different, what am I doing to them? I'm subtracting them. So don't let the order fool you. At 39.27, if this problem is written like this, 39.27, right, minus 112.6. That problem, if I turned it around, is, what's this, positive or negative? Positive, and this is what? Guess what? It's still different. Don't let the order fool you, okay? It doesn't matter, it's okay. So what happens is, I just know that I have to do what? Subtract. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to take the problem. We know that we put the bigger number on top, and we just do a subtraction problem. So when we subtract it, we're going to get our answer. But when we get our answer, what's it going to be, positive or negative? Which number is larger? Negative. All right, good. The 112.6 is a lot larger than 39.27. So our answer here is going to be negative. And I have a lot of kids. Listen, trust me, help me out here. I have a lot of kids in problems like this do the problem, and as they write, you know, the last number here, they're done and they're on their way to the next problem, all right, or whatever it is. And you got to make sure you write what the larger number is, the sign, okay? So just keep that in mind, all right? Well, it's as simple as this, okay? Very young kids don't understand 2 minus 4. They would look at that, I don't know, they've not been taught that, okay? You have 2 here, and you take away 4. Is this same or different? No? It's different. This is a positive 2. This is a negative 4. Different. What do we do to the numbers?
Subtract.
We subtract them. What's 4 minus 2? 2. But wait a minute.
-2.
It's a -2. See, it works that way. Now, you knew that 2 minus 4 is a -2. You know that 4 minus 2 is just 2. But because the smaller number comes first, it makes a difference in the problem. Now watch this. Let me take just a few seconds and show you. Number line, all right? I'm at 3, plus is right or left?
Right.
Right. If I go 2 to the right, guess what I get? 5. If I have a -1 and I add, all right, I'm adding, which is generally on the right side, but when I have, what's my number though?
Negative.
Yeah, well what's negative mean though? Left or right?
Left.
It means left. So if I go back 3, all right, -1, -2, -3, all right, oh, -4, that's my answer. So here's where I started with my first number. This sign tells me whether to go left if it's positive or right if it's, left if it's positive, right, left if it's negative, sorry, right if it's positive, okay? that'll help you understand. So you say, Mr. Grace, oh man, I don't necessarily get that right away. Well, the number line will help you get it. There's no line in there. Look, -7. If I put -7 on a number line, okay, you guys know that this number here is a -6, one less going to the right. This is one, all right, one more, and then one less technically. So if I have a -7, but which way am I going?
Positive.
I'm going right, how many? How many? 5, 7. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I go forward 5, -5, -4, -4, -3. All right. -7. Go right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoop. Gotta go one more. All right. -2. And there's my answer. You see that? 8. All right. Here I'm an 8. If I go back 3, I have what? 5. Okay? I have 4 here. Here's a 4. If I go back 10, right? If I go back 10, well, if I go back 4, that gets me to 0, right? How many more do I have to go back from 0? 6 more, which makes it a -6. Isn't that cool? Number lines don't lie. That's exactly, the first number is where you start. The second number, if it's positive, you're going right. If it's negative, you're going left. That's why 3 minus 4 is a -1. Because if I start at 3, but I go which way 4? Which way?
Left.
I go left. Well, if I go back 1, that's 2. Back 2, that's 1. Back 3, that's 0. And back 4 is a -1, and that's my answer. So I could do it that way, but I also could do 3 minus 4 as, wait, that's different. Mr. Graves said to subtract. So 3 and 4 difference is 1. Sign of the larger is 4, negative. So -1 is my answer. Okay, understand? Let's do one more, and then we'll kind of work through this and apply it on your homework. All right. Now you write this on your paper, and Mr. Graves would like line by line, precept upon precept, so that we don't mess anything up. The first two things we're going to do. All right. A -1 plus 5. Same or different? It's different. Subtracting the sign of the larger, our answer is what?
4.
You guys are good. Okay, 4. 4 plus -3 is on my next line. Okay? Plus 4 plus -6. Okay? Now the next problem is what? 4 plus a -3. Different sign, subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. Sign of the larger is 4, which is positive, so answer 1 plus -7 plus 4 plus -6. Okay, now the next problem. What's 1 plus a -7? I just underline it. -6, right? Plus 4 plus a -6. Okay, now the next one. -6 plus 4. -2, good. Different sign. -2 plus a -6. Ooh. Same sign we had, okay? -8. Now, line by line, okay? Now, let me show you. If everything is only addition and multiplication, you can do this quicker by doing this way. All right? -1 is negative. Let's add all the negatives, okay? What's 1 plus 3? 4 plus 7? 11. 11 plus 6? 16. But we have to have a negative, right? Because those were the negative numbers, so we have to write negative. All right? Let's add the positives. 5 plus 4.
9.
9. Did we do that right?
No, 17.
17, yep, you were right, that's what I thought. Okay, yep, -17, we had it wrong. That happens, all right? -17 plus 9. We added all the positive, we added all the negatives, and we get one balance. This is different. We keep the sign of the larger, which is negative. Our answer is still -8. You can do that with only positive and negatives. Later on in math, when you've got multiplication and all that involved, you can't do that. But these kinds of problems you can. If you don't want to, line by line, I don't mind you doing that, and that will work fine, okay? But just remember this and follow it to a T, and you will be fine.